Hey, everybody, it's that time again. That's right. It's time to sit back, relax, undo your slacks, and get yourself some snacks because it's time. It's time. It's time for Shifty Sunday coming up right now. Hey, everybody, this is Hebrew77. I'm your host with the most that loves Marshmallow Ghost on his toast, and welcome to Shifty Sunday. I'm Hebrew77 along with Amazon Lion, and Saji could not make it today, but he will be on a future episode or maybe even a different broadcast. But we are here, Amazon Lion, and I'll tell you what, we are ready for one spectacular Shifty Sunday because this is the month of October officially. So that you know what that means.
Well, hello, Hebrew77. It's good to hear from you. And yes, it's going to be a wonderful show, and I'm ready.
Well, that sounds good.
So, what kind of things we got going on today?
Well, we got funny memes, we got some interesting stories, and of course, we've got your creepy critters of the week. We have all kinds of fascinating stuff happening. So we have Go Kart Bob in the comment section along with Brother Matthews. Hello, Brother Matthews.
I see that. Hello, Brother Matthews. Hello, Go Kart Bob. Wonderful of you to stop in.
But I got to tell you, we almost didn't have Shifty Sunday this week.
Well, why is that?
Well, I've been feeling under the weather here lately. I don't know exactly what's going on. I know I've had some stomach issues. I've had a slight cough. There hasn't been any fever or anything like that, so I don't think it's viral. I don't think it's any kind of virus or anything, but you can hear from my throat. I think it has a lot to do with the change of weather, and I think there's a lot of that going on. Saji complained about him not feeling well. And
Yeah, I was going to say you're sounding a little under the weather.
hey, that's a good one. Under the weather. Get it? Yeah. But hey, we have bone breaking action where weather change is real. And Eddie Von Kuhn stepping in.
Yep, and we got bone breaking action. You got monkey spots?
Monkey spots. Oh no, I thought he said monkey sports. See, my vision's going too. Monkey spots. Well, I don't know. I don't think I've been doing never mind. I'm not gonna get into all that. But what's going on, Amazon line?
Oh, not much on this end. Doing just a bunch of spotless cleaning and organizing this weekend, so I'm pretty sore. I'm feeling it. I can tell I've put a lot of work in, so getting things caught up.
Well, that's another thing. We've had cool weather in the mornings and evenings, and hot weather during the day. It's looking at my computer here. It still says 70 degrees. I don't think that's right.
Yeah, I think it's still a bit warm, and then it'll probably drop pretty quick here in a few hours.
But with the weather changes and it's October, this is of course my birthday month. People say that now. They don't just say the whole just one day. They say it's my birthday month.
Birthday month, whoop whoop.
Birthday month. So,
Birthday months are always good. It means you made it another year.
yeah, that's one way of looking at it. A lot of people complain about getting older, but at least you got something to complain about. Yeah,
If you're complaining, you know you're still alive.
that's right. Yeah, well put. Well put. Well, hey, since it is October, we do have some Halloween type memes.
Go Kart Bob says it's 87 in Oregon right now. Wow.
He is it still daylight where you are, Go Kart Bob? I know. Let's see. Sometimes you'll go in there and say, yeah, it's still daylight where I'm at. So I don't know. But hey, I got something to tell this audience. I think you already know about it, but I watched the reboot or the continuation, if you will, of Quantum Leap, the new Quantum Leap. I watched 2 episodes, and I gotta say, it's not bad. It's not a bad program. Do you remember the original Quantum Leap?
Yes, I remember the original.
This one makes mention of Dr. Sam Beckett never making his way back home, and they kept up the Quantum Leap project all these years, and they were still trying to find a way to find Dr. Sam Beckett. And you got a whole new cast, of course, and well, I don't want to get into it. You guys out there, if you've got a way to check it out, go ahead and check it out. And it's not a bad show for a reboot. Most reboots are kind of stupid. But this one, you had the Magna PI reboot, and I think you also had like the Wonder Years, which is ridiculous. I don't know why they even bothered with that one. But this one is definitely worth checking out for all you who are fans of the original show. They do give it its due. So,
well, maybe I'll have to sit and watch a couple episodes and see what I think.
The lady taking Al's spot is his. Yes, yeah. Sorry, I'd take a sip of tea.
Oh, that's quite all right.
So, have you got anything new going on?
Do I have anything new going on?
Yes.
Do I? I don't know.
Well, I mean, stuff that you could share with the audience.
I don't know. Was there something I was supposed to talk to the audience about?
Oh no. You've got the floor right now. I'm handing it over to you. You got the reins. You can go ahead and take it. Got any stories to tell?
Teenager's going to prom this month, so.
Oh, wait. You mean homecoming?
Yeah, I'm at homecoming. All I know is that it reminds me that she's as well growing up. And that's not an easy thing to look at as a parent. I miss the younger years, that's for sure. So if you have young ones, enjoy that time that you have with them, that's for sure. You blink and they're grown.
That's
How,
true.
that's how it
That's
feels.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's kind of a weird thing, it's sad, but at the same time, it's a growing and learning experience as a parent. And one of the things I find hard for me is to let go of that little kid once they start getting into those ages of 12, 13 years old and so on. It's just so hard just to like you gotta let them, cut out some of the little kid stuff, and you gotta give them that support that they need as they're
Yeah, you got
growing.
to give them support and, kind of loosen the apron strings and let them fly a bit and hope that all the good advice you gave them, they use it. And I mean, there's tons that go with that, uh, kind of putting your foot down and, you know, letting some of the childish things go.
Oh, and the mouth that they get when they get,
Oh yeah.
oh
But
my.
yeah, they're quite full, hormonal and full of testosterone and all that's coming in. So that plays a huge part in it and them trying to find themselves. And
Oh, what the something weird happened there. I don't know what's going on.
yeah, I heard that. What was that?
I don't know. It's uh-oh. Did we get shut down?
I don't think so.
My counter stopped. The my
Well,
cruiser
I
and
can
things
still see
stopped.
the counter. Can anybody in the
Everything's
audience hear us?
frozen.
Are you still hearing us?
What the heck? Okay, we're having issues here because I can't even see my
Are you still there? Hello? Hello?
talking.
Huh. Go Kart Bob says, incoming pew pew. Hard drive crash? Eddie Von Kuhn? It says hard drive crash? Maybe? Hello? Hmm. Same thing happened on Joanne's show an hour ago. Well, I don't know if he's coming back or not. I may have to leave the studio as well. Hmm. Alrighty. Well, it looks like Hebrew from Eternia says, keep talking. I wasn't aware if everybody could still hear me or not. He said it's Hebrew from Eternia says it's dead air. So I guess you can still hear me on the show. Let's see. Now I gotta come up with a topic to talk about. Let's see if I got anything in the books. Actually, my Facebook. I'm looking. And let's see if I got anything saved to read for later. Because I do that. I'm always saving something to read. Oh, no. Yes, Go-Kart Bob. I know quite a few. Dyslexic. So I'm glad you understand. Let's see. Oh my, Eddie Von Kuhn. That's funny. Well, I'm not sure if I have anything or not. It's on here to read. Well, here's one I guess I had saved. Sorry, everyone. I was trying to find something till possibly he can get back in. So here's one I saved for myself, just something to read because I have anxiety. I'm also diagnosed with ADHD. Unfortunately, because of my heart, I can't be put on medications, but I begin to wonder, which one is which and at what time. Which one am I really feeling? Let's see. So we'll start reading. I'll just go ahead and read, and hopefully we can get him back on here and start back in on the show. So ADHD is missed in 50 to 75% of women. It's often called anxiety, depression, and even OCD. When she has a child that's diagnosed with ADHD, is when she's most likely to discover her own struggle. ADHD often leads to anxiety and depression as a secondary response to all of the challenges that go with untreated ADHD. Because of that, she's 3 times more likely to be put on an antidepressant, and sometimes those make ADHD symptoms worse. Until the age of 28, that was me. I hit a crisis. I had 4 major projects coming up that I couldn't seem to complete. The sequences were going to be severe if I didn't get them done. And even though panic ensued, I was still stuck. My doctor was one of the few who seemed to understand ADHD. She wasn't sidetracked by my use of the word anxiety and sent me to get evaluated for ADHD. Life changed. I lost my place. That's not good. Okay, here we go. Life changed in such a positive way after that. Now, I've gotten pretty good at helping other women discover that they have ADHD. When I got the right treatment, my entire life was different. If you've been frustrated that your current treatment isn't working, It wants me to keep reading. Hebro from Eternia says that his computer crashed. All right, back to the topic. ADHD is missed in women because it looks different. Some people even think that women can't have ADHD. Insert eye roll here. They think that if you are smart or you did well in school, you can't have ADHD. I was a straight A student who went to college when I was 16. I later graduated summa cum laude with my master's degree. But I have ADHD. When we think of ADHD, we think of the chatty little boy who can't sit still. ADHD in women tends to look a little different. ADHD symptoms in women. She has a constant state of overwhelm trying to manage the details of everyday life. It's like feeling disorganized mentally, emotionally, physically, and she often thinks of herself as lazy, crazy, ditzy, or stupid. What we got here? Michael Fontaine, you shouldn't be driving your computer, kids. They tend to crash. Hebro, especially when you are driving a shifty Sunday car. You never know what you're going to get, kids. Fasten your seatbelts. She's likely to zone out, even in the middle of an important conversation. It often hurts people's feelings when you have to ask them to repeat something they just told you. I really don't want that, but often feel powerless to prevent my mind from bouncing off. So I developed strategies to cover my symptom. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And trying to manage her thoughts is like playing a whack-a-mole. It can sometimes feel like she doesn't have control over where her thoughts go or when they go. The daydreaming sounds lovely, and sometimes it is. Other times, her mind is playing out how bad it would be if the police came to tell a person that their spouse died, and she's feeling all of the emotions as if it were happening right now. And that whack-a-mole makes it difficult for the ADHD woman to function. It's like trying to hold down a conversation with someone, but other people are constantly interrupting. Except the other person doesn't know that the conversation has been interrupted, so they keep talking. She either forgets important things or worries that she's forgetting them. The worry she feels is like a vague anxiety without an apparent cause, just the uncomfortable feeling that something has fallen through the cracks. Somehow, somewhere, she is really messy. She may look presentable with a matching outfit or a reasonably organized desk at work, but she won't invite you to her house. Why? Because it's a disaster. Most of my former coworkers thought I was a very organized individual until they saw my car. The ADHD woman procrastinates, like a lot. She waits until the last minute to start important work because she has to rely on the time pressure to get boring tasks done. Then in a frenzy, she'll spend hours doing it the night before, while also trying to make it look like she spent weeks on it. But she can hyper-focus on things she's really interested in. While I've never been able to pay attention to lectures, I can spend hours researching how to do a handstand. Women are often really good at masking their ADHD symptoms. Women with undiagnosed ADHD often judge their difficulties as personal flaws. To avoid feeling this shame, women are often really good at hiding their ADHD challenges from others. When she can't keep her attention in a conversation, she does mental gymnastics to make up for it. I used to pretend that I didn't quite comprehend what people were saying, and my brain just isn't grasping this. Can you say it one more time? All to try to keep them from feeling like I didn't care. Sometimes the ADHD woman covers her symptoms in ways that look like OCD. I've accidentally left my stove on overnight. I've accidentally left it on when leaving the house and then come home to find it still on. Now I make it a point to check my stove. Boy, I do that one often. I'm always asking myself, did I turn the coffee pot off? Did I, turn the heat off or the air conditioning off? Did I, did I remember to shut off all the lights? Or sometimes I can actually be in the middle of cooking and forget I'm cooking because I end up going to another task. And that's, I imagine, pretty, it can be scary. I imagine it's not a good thing, but it is what it is. But the first time I check, I'm often not actually paying attention to the stove at all. I've done that with a clock. I can look at a clock 10 times to look to see what time it is and still do not catch what time it is. But somehow I'm still right on schedule with things. So I don't know how that works. Then I realized that I wasn't paying attention, so I go back to check it again. But this time I only looked at the burners and forgot about the oven. So I go back. But then I can't remember if I checked it today or if I'm remembering what I'm remembering was me checking it yesterday. So I go back and check again. Unfortunately, this time my mind was wandering and I looked at the microwave instead. You get the point. ADHD women are often people pleasers, perfectionists, and creative problem solvers who find ways to skirt by. Because of this, they stress hard to make life work so that they can avoid feeling like a failure. Did I mention people with ADHD tend to experience criticism more painfully? Yes, I'm one that does not like criticism, but I try as I might, I do try to take it in, even if it is painful. She may find a way to hide or even overcome some of her symptoms, but it comes at a great cost. Exhaustion, constant anxiety, overwhelm. She feels it all the time. It's like walking in stilettos with your arms overfilled with very fragile and valuable objects that are on the brink of falling. At any moment, you're about to lose something important. For her, it's like being mentally, emotionally, and physically disorganized, but only treating the secondary depression and anxiety. Treatment never touches the inner chaos. When she actually finds out she has ADHD and she experiences good treatment, there's an excitement that's often eclipsed by a sad frustration at how long she's lived her life in the eternal storm and what she could have accomplished had she found out sooner. So, is this familiar for any of you? Do you have any kind of a diagnosis that, even if it's just like not just ADHD, but, symptoms that are related to ADHD, maybe in the same family? Well, hello, sweet Connie Joe. Hebrew from Eternia is having some issues with his computer crashing, and it's taking a while. So I am trying to find some articles for the audience to enjoy. And I just got done reading on ADHD and women and how, it can feel like anxiety, but it can also be ADHD, or it can just be one or the other. So that's the article I was just reading. So I'm glad you were able to pop in for a moment. And I hope you enjoy your time at your daughter's. So let's see what else I can find out here on the Hangouts. I'm not quite sure where Hebrew from Attorney is wanting me to go at this point. I hope that lots of you are still with me. And thank you for being so patient. Well, thank you for stopping in, sweet Connie Joe. You have a great night as well. And thank you for stopping in. Much appreciated, hon. Hebrew, are you still with me? Can you hear me? Well, I guess what I'll do is I'll go over here to Hangouts because I have no idea what's going on there. So let's see which one would be best to go to. I know that since he's not been feeling well, Saji's not been feeling well. And, I know there's a lot of the change in the weather going around. And so I think what I will do is I will go ahead and I will read on can a sudden change in the weather affect your health? Now, I do believe that the weather can cause you to get illnesses. I mean, every year as soon as it turns fall, and especially into winter, I am sick every year with bronchitis. That is partly my fault, but case being, I do end up in the hospital. Last year I was in the hospital. It was scary because it was ICU. Because we got apparently all this COVID stuff going around, and I've already got bad lungs and a bad heart. Well, not sure if it's bad heart, but things going on in that area. And so I can get sick pretty easy. My immune system's low. And so, yes, I do believe that a sudden change in the weather can affect people and their health. So I guess what we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll read this paragraph, and hopefully we'll get Hebrew back. Can a sudden change in the weather affect your health? Can a sudden shift in the weather trigger certain illnesses? Absolutely, says Vikash Madi MD, a Piedmont family medicine physician. In fact, climate change is one of the environmental risk factors most doctors consider when assessing their patients for certain conditions. Changes in weather are basically challenges to our immune system and to our musculoskeletal system, Dr. Madi says. Our bodies get used to a certain climate, and when those things change suddenly, our body has to try and adapt. Unfortunately, sometimes our bodies have a difficult time adjusting, which can trigger an illness. Here are 6 health conditions that can be triggered by a sudden change in the weather. Number 1, infections and illnesses of the upper respiratory tract. Often we'll discover that patients are dressing inappropriately, Dr. Madi says. Boy, can I relate to that, especially when it comes to teens. They think it's cooler to get pneumonia than to wear a jacket. They're not wearing enough layers, or they're wearing too many layers, and so their bodies get overheated or too cold. That can affect their immune response and can trigger upper respiratory infections. When temperatures are fluctuating, Dr. Mahdi recommends dressing in light layers. Dressing in light layers is incredibly important to protect from cold temperatures in the morning and at night, and you're still able to shed those layers in the warm middays or indoor settings, Dr. Mahdi says. Number 2, chronic sinus and throat issues. Heating and air systems struggle to keep up with fluctuating temperatures, and rapidly alternating heating and cooling systems can dehumidify air. Dehumidified air filled with pollen, dust, mold, and mildew is a perfect storm for severe and chronic sinus and throat issues. So it's important to change heating and air filters every 6 months. If your filters haven't been changed in more than 6 months, they are likely blowing dust, mold, and mildew-ridden air on you and your family while you're at home or work, Dr. Mahdi says. Dr. Mahdi also recommends purchasing a humidifier to add moisture to the air. Now, see, I have a problem with that one. I've tried humidifiers, and the moisture doesn't just go to the air. It's a small apartment, so it also goes to my lungs, and moisture in the lungs is not a good thing. Number 3, seasonal asthma and bronchitis triggered by cold air. Now, see, this is what happens with me every year. The cold air, it changes, and all of a sudden, I'm hit with bronchitis 1 to 2 times. Cold air can trigger seasonal asthma or bronchitis. People who have these conditions should be prepared to use an inhaler seasonally to avoid severe and chronic coughing episodes. There is a psychological response to cold air that causes your airways to close down and tighten up, Dr. Mahdi says. If you have asthma, which I do, that response can be dangerous. You'll see a lot of people who have bronchitis, coughing, wheezing, and shortness of breath throughout cold temperatures. So we need to be a little more aggressive with the control of their lung health. Number 4, seasonal allergies from pollen. Plants get just as confused as people do with the changing weather patterns, Dr. Mahdi says. This means flowers bloom early and release pollen, which can aggravate people with seasonal allergies. Number 5, cold and flu outbreaks. As the weather temporarily improves, it is common for families, co-workers, and school children to gather for group activities. If one person is sick with the cold or the flu, you may see a minor outbreak of illness following those gatherings. When large groups gather together, we all need to be a little more careful about hand hygiene and covering our mouths and noses with coughing and sneezing, Dr. Mahdi says. Dr. Mahdi says a lot. It's also important to frequently clean shared spaces to control the spread of infections. Number 6, muscle and joint injuries. When the weather warms up, people are eager to head outdoors, but being extremely active on muscles and joints that have been hibernating during the cold winter months can lead to injuries. A good rule to remember before jumping into those fun physical activities is to start low and go slow, at least initially, Dr. Mahdi says. See, there you go, saying something again. It might take a few weeks to shake the rust off, but it will be worth the wait. Dr. Mahdi practices at Piedmont Physicians Brookhaven, located, and there's the address below. Well, folks, schedule an appointment with Dr. Mahdi or one of our other primary care providers. You might want to get your doctor checkup. So, Hebrew 77, do I have you back?
Well, I hope so. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. I've been trying to pass the time
Mhm.
with these
Well,
articles.
I'm glad that you read that article,
Yeah.
and I definitely appreciate the article that you had for us while we went off the air. My computer crashed. I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
seen that.
I don't know any rhyme or reasoning for this, but it just crashed. It just did it. And of course, this is Shifty Sunday, so shiftiness is going to happen. And here's the problem. I don't know if my microphone is at capacity. Am I coming in loud and clear?
You are.
Okay.
Everything
So
seems good. I noticed you were on there when I switched over to see if anybody had, made any comments or anything. So I wasn't sure if we still had anybody left or if I was just reading to myself.
the counter says we got 4 people watching.
Oh, well, thank you.
But I have a feeling there's more than that because there are people commenting, but I'm not sure where all the comments have gone because they're gone on my end.
Yeah, they're gone on my end. Well, I mean, the last one I got was from Sweet Connie Joe, who said she was able to pop in for a moment and then she had to go to her daughter's and for us to have a great night. So,
Well,
what's the last one you got?
I'm gonna see. I'm looking at the YouTube right now. Uh-oh. Hmm.
And for us to have a great night. Oh, what happened there? What you got?
I'm gonna see. I'm looking at the YouTube right now. Uh-oh. All right. Let's Hmm.
And for us to have a great night. Oh.
Hold on.
What happened there?
There we go. Okay, well, we got Michael Fontaine who left a comment. Where's Fellow Fire? Fellow Fire will probably come in late. It looks like the comments are still on YouTube. I apologize for all the inconvenience, guys. I don't know.
That first topic I was reading was because, I have the anxiety and the ADHD, and there's just so many days it's really hard to tell which one is which.
Yeah.
And which one I'm having. Like, is this my ADHD or my anxiety? So I was going to read that anyway to myself, so I just decided to share it with the audience.
Well, it's a good thing you did because we would have had some dead air. We did have a little bit of dead air for a minute.
Yeah, we had dead air because I wasn't sure if anybody could hear me or not. I thought maybe, the live had stopped, and I was like, okay, then. So I'll just sit here and wait, see what happens. Wasn't aware I was still on air.
Yeah, good thing you didn't walk away or anything.
Well, it didn't seem like I was, out of the studio. So I thought, well, I guess I'm talking through the show till he fixes whatever it is you got to fix. So
Well,
I
we
just
had
tried to talk about a couple paragraphs, topics.
You were reading about the whole weather thing, and weather I think does affect our bodies in many ways, and I think that's what's that's what's been going on with me. When you go from hot to cold and then cold to hot, you get problems like your throat, your sinus cavities start draining into the chest.
Oh, yeah, I've had tons of sinus stuff going on, lots of, drainage, tons of drainage, I feel like I'm swimming in it. So, that cold weather at night and that hot weather during the day is just really messing with my lungs and my throat and my nose and the sinus area.
But there was something I meant to bring up along the way and I had forgot. And so Instead of that, we do have some memes. I do want to share some memes, and as everybody knows, this is October, and we had stored away some memes that we had hidden specifically for the month of October because they are Halloween type memes.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? I have some memes.
What do you mean? You have some memes.
What do you mean? What do I mean? We have some memes.
I don't know. Let's find out. Roll that beautiful meme footage.
Roll that beautiful meme footage. Let's get the meme music going because that's what we do here. By the way, I liked Michael Fontaine's comment earlier talking about be careful when you're driving through the internet because your computer could crash. Don't be driving computers.
Right. I like that one too.
Let's see. Do we want that one? I don't think that's the one I usually play. Oh, is that too loud, or should I turn it down?
I seem to cut out a little bit there. What were you saying?
Oh, here. There we go. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Our first meme of the night. This one always happens to me. Check this out.
The Nun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know all too well that feeling.
Oh my goodness.
And it's very scary.
Yeah. This has been the case, especially here lately. You go to the pump. It's called gas roulette, where you don't know where that's going to land on the final price.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Gas
Little roulette machine out there. You just kind of roll it and see where it lands, and that's the price you get to pay for gas.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move right along here. And our What Do You Mean memes. I'll let you read this one.
Every gal wants to be swept off her feet.
I don't think quite like this, though.
I don't know. She looks pretty relaxed.
Yeah. After a long day of work and doing stuff,
Yeah, with all that killing he's out there doing, you're going to tuck her in now.
Yeah. Just tuck her in, maybe give her some, breakfast in bed or
She
something.
must have ran a lot of miles.
I like this one.
I love him in those overalls. It's hilarious. Chucky Norris.
I would love to have this action figure.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I'd like to have the doll.
Yeah. I think I've laid a deviled egg.
How can you tell? I don't like my deviled eggs with pitchforks.
That would be a good little Halloween theme, though.
I was told by somebody to call them angeled eggs.
Eggs. Well, there's deviled eggs and there's angel food cake.
Yeah. Cake is better.
Let's see. We've seen those. let's go ahead and move along with the chicken theme here.
Oh, those are my kids. Over hard, over easy, and runny.
I like I imagine the one with the Fonzie jacket and the sunglasses is over hard.
I once said I would name my children 1 through 4, but then I'd still forget their numbers.
Right? That
I'd be calling them by different numbers.
That ADHD would kick in and you just forget.
Yeah. You want to read this one this time?
I'll get this one. Netflix, internet messages. What are you doing? Taking a break. What about your brain? Must keep track of information. Dopamine, 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 dopamine.
Oh yeah, that's exactly how I relax. Put on my Netflix, search through my phone for info.
Well, when you do a show like this, you got to search through your phone for it. That's
Even before I was doing a show, I don't know how many things I've got saved.
All right.
To read.
What is your secret for always staying down to earth? Well, I mean, gravity.
Sounds like something I'd say.
That's funny.
People say, "What's up?" I say, "The sky."
Price of gas.
Right? That is no lie.
You know, if you were one of those guys that worked at a Vacancy Motel where they had a guy that was an elevator operator, they'd say, "So, how's the job going?" They go, "Oh, it has its ups and downs." You know. Maybe we should do dad jokes on the show sometime.
Oh yeah, you got plenty of those dad jokes, I bet.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Saggy. Oh my goodness, Saggy does a ton of dad jokes. Okay.
This is too funny. There's nothing to read. But if you go through those pictures, that seems a lot of the time how it goes.
I think I'll just leave this up here.
You wear a Heine hat. At first you laugh, and then more people get one. Now you gotta go out and get a Heine hat.
Yeah. That's the way it works.
Yeah, with a lot of people, that's like the story of the monkey, who went off, and the first monkey who went off found a banana and realized he could eat it. And another monkey saw it, and then another monkey, and all the other monkeys followed that monkey, and they were all eating bananas, but I'm the monkey over on the other side eating an orange.
I don't know how many times I've seen a product on TV or somewhere and go, "Man, that is stupid. That'll never catch on." Next thing you know, it's everywhere.
Yeah, I don't really feed into that category, so... But I still thought it was pretty funny because I know a lot of people do.
Now there's a guy that has a channel.
I'll let you read this one.
Don't let anyone ruin your day. Be a man. Ruin it yourself. There's a guy that has a channel that does these be a man things. He says all the time, and that's where we got this one.
Yeah, I've heard that guy. I get a good giggle out of some of the things he says.
this one?
Look, if I have to explain the meaning of existence, then it isn't funny anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of profound.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to see if I can. I know we got more Halloween stuff. Oh, here's one. This is just a picture.
Do you think that Kermit has a deeper voice?
I don't know. Maybe he talks like this. You know. It'd be funny, though, if he did talk like Kermit.
Do you think that Kermit's still in love with the Miss Piggy?
Maybe.
Or wait, wasn't it the other way around? Miss Piggy was in love with Kermit?
I think Miss Piggy was in love with.
Yeah, do you think she'd love this one just the same?
Now here's, you know, Christmas time gets earlier and earlier, and you know how they put up the Christmas ornaments. Seems like right after Halloween in stores, or right before Halloween even is over, actually.
Oh yeah, I've already saw Christmas decorations out at the stores. It's ridiculous. I love decorating and all, but my goodness, slow down.
But here's if you want to get a jump on your early Christmas shopping, here's this.
Here you go. I'll let you read it.
Getting everyone's Christmas gifts ready. You still have time to let me know if you want chicken, beef, or shrimp.
I'll take the chicken flavor. How about you?
I would take the chicken flavor.
You like the chicken flavor?
I think everyone pretty much likes the chicken flavor.
Yeah.
Like,
that's usually the first one gone off the shelves too. That or the beef.
Yeah, I noticed when the pandemic hit, the ramen noodles, the chicken was, you could not find the chicken anywhere. Like it was gone. Like you could not find it. And also the 12 packs were gone. You'd have to get the single packs. So yeah. Be ready for that next wave, whenever that comes.
Michael Fontaine, he says shrimp.
Shrimp? Now, I will say this. I do like to put, like, sometimes you'll see, like, chili flavor. Every once in a while, I'll get the chili flavored ones just to have those packets. And what I'll do is I'll cook the noodles as is and just add different stuff to them, and then I'll save those chili packets, and then when I make my chili, you know, stir off a little bit of the ramen chili packets and mix it in with your seasonings for chili. Oh
yeah, there is just so much you can do with, you know, those noodles.
Yeah.
Michael Fontaine left a comment. Would you like to read that one?
Oh, I can't see the comments right now.
Well, Go-Kart Bob. He says, I was just going to say the stores are putting up Christmas stuff. Michael Fontaine says, Roman noodles. Yeah, Roman. How do you say that?
Ramen?
Ramen. Ramen noodles stock went up 6,000%.
I believe it. I believe it. Okay, here's some.
I did like this one.
Interesting graffiti. Question everything, and then just below it, why? I like that it has like these ghost. This almost looks like ghost pictures here. I don't know.
Yeah, that creeped me out a little walking down that corridor.
Question everything. Now, See, what's funny is when you used to walk into the men's room, like a little gas station or something, and there would be graffiti on the wall or on the stall of the wall, and there would be somebody talking smack about someone, and then you see down below someone answering it, and it's like, and then there would be a reply to that answer, and then you'd see another reply to that answer. It's like, do these people just use the same restroom, like the same stall, all the time? Like, I always wonder, like, how long does it take someone to reply to that? And are they replying to it? Is it the same people replying to it, or is it just
different people?
Different people.
Good question.
Like, that's kind of funny how it's, because sometimes they even give names, and it's like, oh wow. So
Michael Fontaine says, deep fried ramen.
Deep fried ramen.
I've never had it deep fried. That's interesting.
I think I've seen that. I think ghosts are just people who died trying to fold a fitted sheet.
I believe it. I cannot fold a fitted sheet to save my life. I've tried and tried, and it just does not do right. So I kind of just do, like a fork would, twirl spaghetti noodles on the fork. Well, that's pretty much how I do the fitted sheet around my arms. I just kind of twirl it and then stuff it in the closet.
Well, I'll tell you, when it came to me and fitted sheets, like I get one corner and then I get the other corner. And then by the time I almost get to the last corner, it's like...
then a corner pops off.
Well, no, I would look at it and go, I got this all on here backwards.
Or sideways?
Or, yeah, where the things don't make sense. Now, the other thing is when you get, like you said, they pop off, and then you got to get on the bed and somehow figure out how to reach the corner while on the fitted sheet itself. I would do this flop, almost like a belly flop.
Right.
Lift myself up and try to lift myself up by simultaneously trying to get the sheet on the corner at the same time.
And then if you actually make it, you just kind of roll over and go, ah.
Yeah. Picture that in your head,
Ooh, Go-Kart Bob has something interesting. How can I question everything if I don't know everything? Interesting.
That's when you have to just question it even further.
Right? Keep digging.
Nobody knows everything.
Reached the age where sleeping with the wrong pillow feels like I fell out of a 12th story window. Absolutely.
Oh, man.
If I do not sleep with my pillows right or sleep in the right position, I can hardly move the next morning. So I can relate to this very much so.
Well, I'll tell you what, for me, is like when you've got that, you got your pillow and everything's feeling just right. And then, you got the pillow and you're laying there, and then it gets too hot, and then you flip it over and you get the cool side of the pillow, and then you're laying there and it feels good at first, and then that starts getting too hot, but then you realize it hasn't been long enough for the hot side of the pillow to become the cool side of the pillow.
Yeah, mine is more like flip-flopping into 300 positions before I get my pillow feeling right and my position feeling right, and by the time I've done all that, then I realize, great, Now I have to get up and go to the bathroom. That is so annoying. Go-kart Bob. He says, roll it up and tuck it into one corner.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, the other thing with me is like when you get in bed and you get everything just right, like you said, and then you go to sleep and you're all snug in there, you wake up and you just like you don't want to get up because you want to go back to sleep or whatever because you're nice and you're in that perfect state of like I'm just relaxed. I don't want to do anything. But then you realize you gotta pee real bad.
Yeah, I like to wrap myself up like a burrito or in it like I'm in a cocoon.
Yeah.
Get all comfy, and then by the time I've done that, I get like 20 questions in my head, that I go through my to-do list of what I've done that day and did I get everything done. And so even after all the flops and the flips and the bathroom trips, my mind doesn't stop.
Well, here's what we'll have for our last meme here.
Oh, I do this so often. I get my days confused. My Saturday was going pretty well until I realized it was Sunday.
But see, for us though, that's a good thing because then you realize, oh yeah, Shifty Sunday's on tonight. See, so
right,
that goes well.
And I realize I have one more day to catch up on everything I got to do around the house before the week starts with all the other responsibilities. I get kind of disappointed because I'm like, oh, I only have one day instead of two.
And then you realize
the Shifty Sunday does make it worth it.
And then you realize you've got that random ass holiday, which gives you that Monday, and then it's like, oh yeah, I got an extra day. Well, that does it for the What Do You Mean memes of the week. What'd you think?
What do you mean? What did I think?
Well, what do you mean? What do I mean? What do you mean? What did you think?
I thought that was some beautiful meme footage.
Why? Thank you. Well, you're the one that sent them, so
Maybe that's why I liked them so much.
Well, there you go.
There you go. So what's next? What do we got? Well,
we got all kinds of things. Now you already covered the weather and the effects it has on the body. I thought we would go to, well, here, wait a minute. We do have an incident that happened to us, and it was I got kind of a laugh out of it. Actually, it just shows you that the Lord works in mysterious ways. Like, we had just had a show on Thursday that was edifying and had a lot to do about Jesus and a lot to do about the enemy and how the enemy works and how God, works against the enemy and stuff like that. We had Brother Matthews on in Armor Up, and we were all doing this, broadcast and stuff. And I got to thinking about this, and I actually thought about it after this incident happened to us. We were driving towards, I guess we were going to the gym or something like that. You and I were. And this person pulled right in front of me and, came to a dead stop in front of me and then made a turn. I guess we were following him, but not following them. We were going along our route and caught this on the back of their car.
Yes, it was something else. My thought process was everywhere but nowhere. I just was, I don't know how I was in shock. I guess I shouldn't be, but yeah, here it is.
No, well, let's see. Oh, I guess that's over in I thought that was in Hangouts, but that's over in oh, here it is. It is in Hangouts. Okay. So it's kind of blurry, but there's a couple things going on here. If you guys could see it, let me go ahead and put it up here. Oh yeah, you can see it. So you've got
you can definitely see it.
you got the Hell Satan and the upside down cross, and you got the symbolism on the back of a upside down pyramid too. So I didn't even notice that. I know that's
Yeah, and this is the
card
town.
design.
Got this from the town that I live in.
Yeah. So, um,
So this was, this is, I guess, our story for Illinois, because we try to have a story for Illinois every week,
yeah, it
and this
seems like
is right
there's
here
something
in,
crazy.
my town in Illinois.
It seems like there's something crazy happening in Illinois about every week that we're on here, and this car was right in front of us.
Yep, right in front of us.
At first, I thought, well, here it is. The enemy's not even trying to hide anymore. He's right out in the open.
Oh, he's definitely out in the open, and he does not care. He is. I had to get a picture. I had to share it to show how much he's gotten out there and not even attempting to hide at this point.
Here's what the thing I mean about the Lord working mysterious ways. This to me is humorous, because this is the kind of thing that's just too obvious. Like it's right out in the open. Like maybe this person doesn't really mean what they've got on there. So I started thinking about this. I'm thinking, is this God's sense of humor sending this car jumping out in front of us?
I don't know. I didn't find it
on,
too humorous.
no,
I was in shock.
no. Wait. Just hear me out here. Hold on. Because the enemy tried to, this car pulls out in front of us, and instead and usually a thing like that would piss me right off, just set me off like no other, this. And this just kind of, I just shrugged my shoulders and said, well, there it is. So I'm sitting here thinking about this, and I'm thinking about, because I see things differently. I tend to look at things differently. So you can look at this two different ways, right? You can look at this and say, well, this is the enemy trying to make me angry and upset, and say, oh my gosh, I can't believe this person has Hell Satan right on their car. Or you can look at it and go, God's allowing this to happen because, God, evil doesn't happen because God either destroys it or allows it to happen. And he allows it to happen. When he allows it to happen, it happens for a reason.
Yeah, it definitely reminded me of whose side I'm on.
That, not only that, but this to me is like a test. It sort of tests my will, so to speak.
And Nicole Ackerman, she said, that's terrible and would freak me out. She said, I'm going to bed now. Good night. And she's like, I would have to go a different way.
Well, see.
Well, good night, Nicole Ackerman.
Mm-hmm. But no, see.
Go-Kart Bob says he won't be driving that car in heaven.
No, I don't think so. No. But this is this is the enemy's way of waving in our face. And when he does that, you can't let him win. You can't let him get to you. You just have to sit back and just laugh, because otherwise, if you let it get you angry or get you down or get you upset, that's what he wants. And so that's why I said what I said. If this isn't God having a sense of humor, I don't know what is.
I agree, and you don't want to focus on it too much anyway,
No.
because that, just you don't want to draw him in any way, shape, or form.
In fact, I'm taking that off the screen, but
Right.
I showed that to Armor, and he kind of had a chuckle at it himself and said, "They got every single." Let's see, how did he? I don't want to misquote him here. Let's see. Oh, he goes, did it have a Mason logo too? I go, it might as well have, because
Right.
it did have every single evil symbol and logo that there was. So that's the part that I'm talking about when I'm talking about it's just too obvious. It's thrown right in our faces.
Right.
And so anyway, I
I guess
thought
he feels like if he throws it in our face, then we're just gonna, draw in more attention to him, because that doesn't work for me. I just, like, all I did was take the picture, and just to be able to share what's, our Illinois thing of the week, and it just happened to be in the town I live in.
but I just
I thought it was a bit crazy, but I, didn't think about it much after that.
see, I did give that some thought because, like I said at first, I was upset by it, but then when I gave it some thought, I just thought, how funny he's trying to tempt us into getting the rise out of us. So I don't know. That's
I definitely didn't get too much of a rise from me. The picture was it, and I just kind of moved on, went from there.
yeah. But anyway, so I just thought I'd share that little
I
tag.
refuse to feed the enemy.
Well, no, you don't feed them.
No. All right. So what else do we have for tonight?
We're going to go on from that to a cat story.
A cat story. Meow.
Yes,
I love kitty cats.
It's funny. We have a lot of strays around here, and there's one particular cat that likes to hang out here quite often. And when I'm out in the backyard barbecuing, it seems like it draws in all the cats. But this one particular cat comes up, and he's sitting there, and he's just waiting for a morsel of food to land on the ground. But it's funny because sometimes he's very approachable, but other times you can walk up to him and he'll just dart off. Like, I trust you a little bit, but I don't trust you that much, human.
Well, I've heard some stories where when you're grilling, none of the cats really want you to pet them, but they sure will all take turns sitting by that grill waiting on that meat.
Yeah. Yeah, this is an interesting article. And what I looked up is about how do cats look at humans? What do they think of us?
Well, what do they think of us? What do you think?
There was, and what got me interested in this, there was one time I had heard that cats see us as giant cats.
Yeah, as
So
one of them.
I wanted to read this article, and I thought that this would be a nice little thing to read before I got into the other thing. The other thing's big and kind of sobering, so I thought we would get into this. And I got to make
All right, sounds good.
sharing. There we go. So let's see here. Let me get over here. What do cats see when they look at humans? And there's a picture looking up at a human.
Go-Kart Bob says, cats say, feed me first, then you can pet me.
Right.
Right? Sometimes not even then. They're like, feed me, don't touch me.
So here we go. When you look at your cat, you see an affectionate, loyal, I don't know about loyal, and gentle friend, albeit a creature that's occasionally aloof. You know she's on the hunt when her pupils dilate, that she's comfortable when her tail slowly swishes, and that she's afraid when she arches her back and her hairs stand up. I always thought that meant they're getting ready to attack.
There's usually something they don't like if their hair stands up.
Mm-hmm. But now you're wondering, what does my cat see when he looks at me? When cats look at humans, they see another large cat lacking balance and agility, with limited cones and many rods. Okay. Cats are colorblind, may not see you well in bright lights, nearsighted, see blurry figure when you're 20 plus feet away, and struggle to identify their human faces 50% of the time. That's interesting. That's somewhat along the lines of what I said before we got into this article.
It is interesting. I was not aware that they, were colorblind.
Well, I always thought that all animals were colorblind, but apparently, from what I read on dogs, that's not necessarily true. That they do see some color. So I don't know if cats are completely colorblind. I guess that's what they're saying here.
And I didn't feel like any of the cats that I ever owned, which is plenty, that they ever didn't recognize me. I thought they always recognized me as soon as I came in. Maybe that was just by smell and not by sight.
Right.
So much.
As smart and intuitive as cats can be, the way they see humans is very different from other household pets like dogs. To learn about what cats physically see when they look at people and how this impacts their perception of humans, read on. How your cat physically sees you. When you think about what your cat sees when she looks at you, you probably wonder what she thinks about you. Does she think you're a cat too? Can she tell the difference between you and other members of your family? Well, we're about to find out because there is a video right now to go along with this article, and I will play the video.
Cats are very expressive animals with a complex language. Therefore, when they stare at someone, it is always because they are trying to say something or something has caught their attention. Do you want to know why a cat stares into your eyes? There are several reasons, which we now explain in this Animal Wise video.
So, the name of the creator, Animal Wised. So all of the credit goes to them, Animal Wise. So if you guys want to check out their channel, we'll
Go Kart Bob says when your cat recognizes you, its tail will go up and the tip will point forward.
Interesting. We'll see if they include that in the video. Oh. Okay, there we go.
They are hungry. If your cat meows while looking at you directly in the eye, it may mean they are hungry. Each feline asks for food in their own way. Some sit next to the dish, others follow us around the house. There are also cats which take it upon themselves to go to the kitchen and search for scraps. Others will simply stare at you in the hope you will understand the message. So, if your cat is chasing you and doesn't stop looking at you, maybe it's time to check if their bowl is empty. They feel pain. Another reason a cat may look at you while they meow may be that they are in pain or discomfort and they want attention. Some cats hide and avoid company when they get sick in order to be less vulnerable from possible threats. But when we bond with a cat, many often see us as a protector and will want to communicate their pain to you. They look to you because they have confidence you will help.
Sounds like
They
me
feel
when
threatened. If a cat
sounds like me whenever I get sick. I go and hide somewhere, and you don't see me for a while, and then I might come out to get some food here and there, but
Right.
other than that, I'm kind of like a cat.
Well, Michael Fontaine says he's got to head out now, and he'll see us all soon.
All right. Well, thanks
Go
for
Cart
joining us.
Bob with his thumbs up, his cool shades on.
Thanks for joining us, Michael Fontaine. Hopefully, we'll see you again real soon.
See you soon.
either by you or anything else, they can take different attitudes. They may step aside and start licking to display a lack of intention for conflict, or they may prepare for a possible attack, staring at their alleged combatant, and even hissing or howling. These sounds are very different to those they make when they want comfort or attention. The tone is much higher and can be violent. If this occurs, it is best to stay out of the cat's field of vision. You can even blink several times and look to the side, as this gesture intimates to the cat you have no intention of hurting them. They are curious. Cats are very curious animals, so almost anything can catch their attention.
Well, you know what they say about curiosity.
Killed the cat.
Yeah. So.
How many times? 9?
Well, yeah. Of course.
The cat came back.
Cat may and stare at you because they are interested in what their favorite human is getting up to. Whether you're cooking, working, or even sleeping, you are a mystery, and solving this mystery is one of the cat's favorite pastimes.
Mystery solving
Discover
cats.
in this video we share the 6 reasons why your cat follows you everywhere. They love you. If they are with you while napping, they may blink lazily as they look at you. If this happens, it means they feel comfortable being around you. This gesture is commonly seen when cats curl up to sleep beside you or you're petting. Your cat wants you to know they are relaxed in your company, since they only look in this way to those with whom they feel most comfortable. Essentially, they are showing you they love you. Do you want to know more reasons why your cat sleeps with you? Discover them in the video that we share here. Do you have any other interpretations of why your cat stares at you? Do they give you any funny looks? Share them with us in the comments, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Well, there you go. There's reasons why cats stare at us. And that comes from that channel that I mentioned. I'll link it down into the comments. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Go ahead and share it. And let's see if there's... We've already read that part about them being colorblind and nearsighted. But let's read this part. Cats have incredible night vision. Growing up, you probably heard that cats had night vision. While cats are undoubtedly a nocturnal species, their night vision does have its limitations. They can see in 1/6 of the amount of light humans require. This night vision ability comes from a cat's curved cornea and ability to dilate its eyes to make use of any nearby light. Excuse me. This night vision comes from the immense number of rods that cats have in their eyes, a feature that also helps the cat notice quick movements in dim lights. So while you might not notice your cat lying on the floor napping in the middle of the night, she most likely sees you. Here's a video that will show you exactly how cats see you and the world around them. I think we're going to go ahead and skip on that. Simply because I think we've covered this topic as far as we can. But
okay.
going to link the script or the video of what we watched previous to their channel if anyone's interested in that channel. Plus, I kind of do it out of, common courtesy to the channel that we let them know we shared their video and we shared their channel. So
seems like the right thing to do.
So our next article is a little heavy-handed, but it does kind of touch close to home since our other co-host, Saji, who could not make it here tonight, lives in this state, and it affected him in a very personal way. So, I will be talking about it. And of course, everybody knows by now that I'm talking about the hurricane that hit Florida. It was a huge disaster. And of course, there was a lot of lives lost, and we don't know the exact amount of lives. We do know there was a lot of damage caused, a lot of flooding, a lot of stuff went on. And it'll be talked about in this article, but also the thing that upsets me is the way government has handled this situation, and what they've done is they have used it as a political tool in order to further their career, if you will, and to gain political votes through serving their agenda. In other words, they're not really concerned about the hurricane or the damage that it did or the lives that were lost so much as they are concerned about serving their political agenda. And we're going to read about that article. Okay, but I want
Yes, if there's one word I would use, I would just say ridiculous. That's it.
Yeah. It's ridiculous how they handle these natural disasters, how they use, it used to be when something like this would happen, the news would come on and some man or woman of power would get on and say, we're sorry about this tragedy and we're going to do the best we can to make sure that the fundings and the materials and goods get sent to the people who need them, and our prayers go out to those who lost their lives and the loved ones and so forth and so on. But it's not like that anymore. It really isn't, and it's a shame. And these people should be ashamed of themselves and the way they handle these situations. I'm not saying it's all like that, but for the most part, it is very political now. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. They have no remorse. They, to me, are just cold.
So that is the article I'm going to read to you guys next. And that's why I want to do the whole cat thing to sort of lighten up things. But now we got something very heavy we're going to read here, and it comes from Fox News. But here's what they are blaming. They're blaming people, basically, because they blame people for climate change, and they're blaming climate change for a natural disaster. Okay. Democrats blaming climate change for Hurricane Ian at odds with science. So it's at odds with science, so-called experts say, or with science experts say. I kind of added that whole so-called thing in there. But if you'll look here, what the heck? Let's mute that up. There we go. Democrats blaming Hurricane Ian on climate change, trying to politicize the pain and suffering of Floridians expert says. Now, see, it says right there, they are politicizing, trying to politicize the pain and suffering.
Yes, they are.
So there's a little video here, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm just going to read the article since it does come from Fox News, and I don't know what Fox News will do to us. So let's just get into the article.
Right.
But before we get into this article, I want you to kind of take over the control panel for a minute while I go. I'm going to refill my tea right quick. If you can do that.
All right. So I'll read and you go get you some tea.
Well, no, don't read.
Oh, okay.
I want people to maybe there's some comments there that you can read or something, a little thing that you could talk about. Something like that. It'll
have any articles or anything, you think?
Well, no. Just this will only take me a minute. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, well, you heard it, folks. Talk amongst ourselves. So what shall we talk about tonight? Anybody have any comments on the things that we've talked about thus far? Aaron Varax, is that how you say that? He's not here to let me know, so I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Good evening to you as well. Glad that you are able to join us. There's quite a few of you who have commented tonight, so we do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay, I am back.
Well, hello back.
Very funny.
Well, I got bad dad jokes too, you know.
Yeah, Keith's dad used to say that to me all the time. So I'm kind of used to that one. But yeah, that's Orvoromax.
So, how do you say that?
Orvoromax or
Ormvorax?
Ormvoromax.
Ormvorax. Okay.
Yes. Ormvorax. I say Voromax. I don't know why.
Ormvorax says, just hopped on. What are we discussing? Well, would you like to fill them in?
Well, we are discussing how they are using Hurricane Ian. They are trying to politicize it, which I just read. Hold on, let me go back up. Democrats blaming Hurricane Ian on climate change, trying to politicize the pain and suffering of Floridians, expert says. So that's what we're talking about, how they're trying to politicize it for their political gain, how they are trying to use it as a key off for their agenda. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into this article. I'm going to take a sip of tea. And here we go.
Here we go.
Multiple experts contacted by Fox News Digital argued that there isn't sufficient evidence to suggest climate change caused Hurricane Ian or any individual natural disaster. The experts' comments come as a series of media outlets, Democrats and progressive commentators continue to blame the hurricane on human-caused global warming. Hurricane Ian slammed into southwest Florida as a Category 4 storm on Wednesday, causing more than a million residents to lose power and prompting stark safety warnings from Florida officials. Okay, so there you have that. What they are trying to do is politicize the pain and suffering of these people to promote their green agenda. Gregory Wrightstone, the executive director of the climate policy think tank CO2 Coalition, told Fox News Digital in an interview, well, their policies and their agenda promote renewables will do far greater economic destruction to the country and Florida. Okay. And it's showing some of the damage done there. You see all the flooding going on. The city of Naples, Florida is pictured during Hurricane Ian on Wednesday. And look at all that. I mean,
that's a crazy amount of water. And look at the wind going through those trees.
I mean, that's just that's just a small portion of it,
That's just a tiny little piece.
Yeah.
Of what happened and the destruction.
In addition, Senator Amy Klobuchar, yeah, that fits her well. A Democrat from Minnesota representative appeared to suggest that the Americans need to vote for Democrats to avoid future I can't even read this. To avoid future hurricanes during an interview Tuesday. So, if you vote.
So if we vote for Democrats, hurricanes will stop.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Orma Vorak says Hurricane Ian bashed that Nord Stream pipeline pretty hard, didn't it?
Right. Yeah. Raja Krishnormith. I can't read these names. Sorry if I butcher your name there, Butcher. Tweeted Thursday that the rapid storm intensification we're seeing with Hurricane Ian will become more common and more dangerous as climate changes. Well, here's the thing I got to say about that. Hurricanes have always been a thing in Florida. And the last one that was this big was 100 years ago. And there will be another, probably not anytime soon, that we're going to see this. It's just normal weather patterns.
We should look back 100 years ago and see if they voted Democrat.
To stop it. It's just it's just normal weather patterns. It has
right
nothing to do with greenhouse gases or carbon emissions or any of that nonsense. I don't believe in global warming. I don't believe in all of the nonsense that they're trying to cram in our heads. And honestly, even if I did, I wouldn't use this as a shame on you moment against people who are suffering, people who have lost their homes, people who have lost family members. It's just the wrong time for that. You don't do that, even if that is the case.
Absolutely not.
That's ridiculous. But I'll read on. And a series of progressive commentators and climate activists took to social media to similarly peg the hurricane on a global warming. See, now my computer's doing something weird.
Uh-oh.
Ian is a climate change hurricane. Pam Keefe, a former Democrat Senate candidate and founder of left-wing firm Center for Employment Justice, tweeted Wednesday. Hurricane Ian is a textbook example of climate change impacting people, Nina Turner, a senior fellow progressive think tank Institute on Race, Power, and Political Economy, Added, climate change isn't political, it's reality. Okay, sure, why not? My computer's doing that weird thing again. However, Wrightstone and the other experts contacted by Fox News Digital rejected those arguments, arguing that individual storms cannot be linked to climate change. Well, there you go. There's what they're...
Aramborak says global warming / climate change is a grift for power, control, and money.
But let's listen to what the science, the so-called science, has to say about it.
Should be interesting.
If you read what the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says on hurricanes, there's just not enough data. Steve Maloney, a senior legal fellow at the Energy and Environment Legal Institute, told Fox News Digital. There's nothing to back up what they're saying. He continued, there were about 16 major hurricanes between 1916 and 1965, but only 6 since 1965. So clearly, major hurricanes happen with lower levels of carbon dioxide. That doesn't add up for them. Whoa. What the heck? Okay. Well, let me try to get back up to the article. That might be the end of that article. Okay, no. Here we go. There's more. Wait, there's more.
Yeah, you got quite a bit more. It went way down there.
Let's see.
You were about right there at
Yeah, here we go.
There you go.
A NOAA study last revised in July concluded that its models and analysis didn't support the notion that greenhouse gas included warming leads to large increases in either tropical storms or overall hurricane numbers in the Atlantic. The study, authored by senior NOAA scientist Tom Knutson, is it Knutson or Knutson? Knutson? Okay, we'll go with Knutson. Added
Of course.
Oh,
and
boy.
you say it with a straight face.
Yeah, that should be the a challenge for people. Say this name with a straight face. But Tom Knutson added that it was premature to conclude with high confidence that human-caused increasing greenhouse gases have had any impact on hurricane activity in the Atlantic. Jamie Rome, the acting director of NOAA's National Hurricane Center, echoed the study's findings in an interview with CNN on Tuesday, pushing back against anchor Don Lemon's argument that Hurricane Ian's insophistication is tied to climate change. Rome said he would caution against linking any of the storm to climate change. Well, what do you know? What do you know about that? Here it shows where the storm hit, the storm activity.
Right.
Trying to blame global warming for Hurricane Ian not only defies science evidence, the clear weight of science evidence, but it is a despicable politicization of a real tragedy that requires our attention and focus on the people negatively affected. James Taylor, the president of conservative think tank Heartland Institute said in an interview with Fox News Digital. Okay. These types of hurricanes existed before SUVs and coal-fired power plants were invented. In fact, they were much more frequent and severe before coal power plants and SUVs. Wrightstone, who also serves as an expert reviewer for the United Nations, added that the number of hurricanes this year has actually been lower than previous years. The IPCC sees no correlation between warming temperatures and more hurricanes, he told Fox News Digital. And we saw that this year, up until this hurricane, which is massive, it had been almost historically low in number of hurricanes. And I think that's where the article ends, and there's some comments there. So what are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, I mean, I said it before the article started. If there was one word that I could put all that to, it's ridiculous. I mean, there's probably more words, I just don't think they need to be mixing that. And I feel for everyone that, had to go through that storm. Families, lives lost, homes lost, pets lost, which is, part of the family, and just having to rebuild, clean up. And, I just pray that everybody gets what they need.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's despicable. I don't think that this kind of thing should be for political gain. They are politicizing it, and it even goes against the science. And I agree with what they say. There was hurricanes well before carbon emissions, and there'll be hurricanes well after. Even if we lower our so-called carbon emissions, and we're all on electric cars, which is what they want to do to us, there'll still be hurricanes. So that's all a bunch of garbage. It's all a bunch of rhetoric, and it's all insensitive to the people that's happened to. And we happen to know one of the people personally who that's happened to. And,
yes,
people that were caught up in it, rather they lost a loved one, rather they lost a home or a pet, as you mentioned, or whatever the case may be. They need the funding, and they need the help all the help that they can get, and all the prayers. And what they don't need is for this
well,
whole thing.
you got the ones who couldn't even leave, they had to stay there. And you got one who took that snapshot picture of a gator swimming right through their living room. And the only way they had of getting up higher, it looked like they might have been on a dresser or something.
Mm-hmm. But one thing it does not need, or the people do not need, is to be shamed and to feel like, this is all somehow their fault for not caring about climate change. And that's sad that that's the way they're going with this. That's pretty much all I had to say about that.
Right.
So I would just like to say that I extend my prayers, and
I as well
hope that a lot of everyone made it out of there safe. I know that there was some lives lost. I think your last count said that it was like 35, but I think there's a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a lot more. You still got so much water that needs to recede, and once it starts going down, it's going to be chaos. I don't even want to imagine how many they're going to find.
No, I don't either. But like I said, I do pray for those people and hope that they can get the help.
Or you got to think about places like cemeteries where, ones who have already passed on, the bodies could come up out of the ground. You got to think about all that, and sewer, and I mean, there's just going to be so much damage, to homes. You got the molds, there's just going to have a lot of rebuild going on. And, the devastation isn't even over yet. That's just the beginning. I just hope and pray that everybody can come together and as many can help to get them, set back up to where they can have their needs provided for.
Yeah, and that's all we can do. Pray for those people. So, well, yeah, that's pretty much all I have on that article and what I had to say about that. Now we have a video that we haven't done.
My name is Alltime, and this is brand new Mandela Effects Part 25.
Pause it. I'm trying
Today
to pause it. It won't pause. Okay. We have a video here. We haven't done Mandela Effects in a while. And that's the big thing when I started my channels, Mandela Effects, and of course on Shifty Sunday. We don't do a whole lot of Mandela Effects, but when we do Mandela Effects, whoa, brother, we do Mandela Effects. Anyway, we lost Amazon Lion for half a second there, but what I would like to do is this guy has a video, and I'm not familiar with him. But let me take a look here. And the video is called Brand New Mandela Effects, 25 brand new Mandela Effects. Now, we're not going to get through all of them, obviously. This is like 18 minutes long, but we will kind of run through some of them and see which ones we already know and see which ones are actually new ones. This guy's channel, by the way, is called All Time. Now, I've never heard of this guy, and I don't know if he's in the Mandela affected community. But if you guys heard of him, leave a comment, in the comments, and we'll see what's going on. But we have lost Amazon Lion, so I wanted to kind of run this past her because she is new to the Mandela affected community, and she does not. She's not familiar with a lot of these. So even if these are old ones that we may know, she may have questions about them, and and these, like I said, these might be brand new ones that we don't know about. So we'll get the video going here shortly. I sure hope nothing happened to her. I'm not got any messages or anything. Let me check. Let's see. No, nothing yet. But we do got this video to get through, and then we have another segment to get through. I guess I can read some of the comments going on. It seems like, we had that glitch earlier with my computer, and that shut down. And now she is shut down. So I don't know. Maybe she has a glitch on her computer. Who knows? You can hear me sniffling and coughing. Um, the weather's dropped. It's down to 60 degrees now. It was up to 75. And I think that all that stuff is starting to settle in my chest. We got bone breaking action. That Predator movie was kind of Prey movie. The Prey movie was good. Kind of got me into the Predator lately. Well, that's good, man, because the Predator movies, for me, they're good movies. I liked maybe the first one. I think the first one that had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it, and the guy who played Apollo Creed. But pretty much after that, I didn't watch a whole lot of them. I didn't watch. I certainly haven't watched any of the more recent ones, and I know that there's a new series I think on Netflix about Predator. It's not called Predator though. But anyway, we got Amazon Line back on. Amazon Line, are you okay?
Yes, I'm quite fine. My internet went out.
Well, we've had a night of glitches.
Yeah, I know. I had to get it back on my computer. It was showing no internet. I was like, what? And then it didn't show my stuff. Wanted me to put it in manually. I said no. So I went back out of it and went back, and it popped up. And I was like, okay now. I thought it was you, and it was me this time.
Yeah. It is
so
shifty.
I do apologize to everyone.
It is Shifty Sunday, so the shiftiness is happening.
It is.
First me, and
it's because we're not voting Democrat.
That's it. Yes, you're right.
That's what it is. So I see we may have been talking about Tubi.
Well, we were talking about Predator, and the Predator movies are on Tubi apparently. And,
are you getting in your messages yet, or you still need me to read them?
No, I'm getting them now.
Okay, good.
But a while ago I wasn't. They weren't coming up. But like the old messages are still not showing. But let's see. Yeah, the old messages are all gone. So I don't know who's all been here. When I do the shout out in the show, I'll probably need your help. But anyway,
all right, sounds good.
I talked about what we're about to see. I told them we're going to see some possible new Mandela effects.
All right.
So, without any further ado, let's try to get through these. And like I said, these come from All Time. The guy's name of his channel is All Time. And we're just going to fast forward it past the subscribe thing and whatnot, because I will put his channel in the comments. But here's the first one, the human body, and a lot of us already know about some of the human body Mandela effects. But let's hear what All Time has to say.
Let's kick off today's video with a Mandela effect regarding the human body. Humanity understands the inner workings of the human body, thanks to all of the medical professionals who have studied the human body for hundreds and hundreds of years. What would you think if I told you that there is a new organ inside of your body that was just recently discovered? If you heard this, I'm sure some of you would think, how's that possible? Or possibly, if that's true, then that new organ must be pretty small and very well hidden to have gone undetected for so long. Well, surprise, surprise, that new organ is real, and it isn't tiny, it isn't hidden, it's huge. In fact, so huge that it is the largest organ in the human body. It's called the interstitium, a previously unknown organ and one of the biggest organs in the human body. It's a massive network of dense connective tissue and fluid-filled compartments throughout the entire body. According to scientists, this is now a full-fledged organ that somehow no one had ever stumbled upon before. This next fact completely blew my mind. The interstitium is actually bigger than your skin, which has forever held the title of the largest organ in your body. It is absolutely incredible to me how.
Yeah, the skin, I've always learned, has been the biggest organ of the body.
Right.
Okay, so now he's talking
Okay.
about this organ, which I've never heard of it, but
I hadn't either.
we'll let him go deeper into it, and we'll see if anyone else out there has questions, maybe in the comments. But we'll let him go ahead and complete his the Mandela effect on this.
How no one had ever noticed or discovered this before. So what do you think? Somehow we all believe that our skin was the largest organ in our body, and now it turns out that that isn't true. There has apparently always been another organ that's even bigger. There are a ton of articles about this, as well as medical papers on this. If you want to read more, it's a really fascinating thing to look at. Let me hear all of your thoughts on this crazy and mind-blowing change in the comments below.
So let's fill up our comment section. Of course, when I'm sharing my screen, I can't I can't read comments. So do we have any comments so far, Amazon?
No, I'm not seeing any.
But that is something I didn't know about. I will say that. So this is a new one for me.
No, I always felt there was more. I mean, didn't they say there was a connection to the nerves with that?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't. I don't know. I imagine if it covers your entire body, then it's got to be covering nerves.
Right. And so, it just from the touch of the skin, how when we start off young and it's all nice and tight, the collagen is there, and then we get older and it's very, very loose and it seems thin.
Right.
But it also seems like there's other layers underneath. If you pinch hard enough, you could feel, the nerve sensors would tell you, if you're pinching your hand or something. So, just the texture of the skin would make me think that there's something else underneath the skin.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that the skin is just the layer to protect, the main part.
Right. That's what I always felt. And also, as you get older, some of the skin gets kind of thinner, and you could see more of your veins, and you can, like, if I look at the bottom of my foot right now, like, I could see some bone, I could see
Right, and things pop out more.
Yes.
Including bone and veins and such.
So if there is that extra thing that's there and it's been there that whole time, then how is that not shadowing over your veins where you can't see them? That doesn't make sense to me. You know where I'm getting at?
I do.
But just let me know if there's any comments, and I'll pause it and you can read the comments. But let's here we go. Here's a sports one, which I think that might be Jackie Robertson. Not sure, but let's find out.
I think you're right.
Jackie Robinson was not only a great baseball player, but actually the first black athlete to ever play Major League Baseball, all the way back in 1947.
Mm-hmm.
He was even inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1962. This next Mandela effect has to do with him. And don't worry, you don't need to understand any sports knowledge for this to land, because this one has to do with a hug. More on that in a second. The date is May 13th, 1947. The game is between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. Jackie Robinson had only been in the major leagues for a month at this point. Because he was the first black athlete to play in the MLB, and the fact that it was 1947, racial tension was sadly still at an all-time high. In fact, some of his own teammates had asked management to trade them away rather than play baseball with him. Not only that, his opponents threatened to boycott. He received death threats, and pitches were even thrown directly at his head. But during that 1947 game, as the crowd taunted him, a teammate named Pee Wee Reese, a white man from Kentucky, crossed the field and walked up to Jackie and put his arm around him, and the crowd got quiet. This beautiful example of solidarity has been talked about ever since. This historical moment in sports history has been talked about and discussed in news stories, documentaries, feature films, biographies, articles, and even, get this, got a statue in Brooklyn in 2005. So here comes the Mandela effect. This never happened. There was never a hug. Pee Wee Reese never walked up to Jackie Robinson, never gave him a hug during that game. And this story, apparently, never happened.
Huh.
Despite all the press, articles, stories, movies, biographies, and books, it just didn't happen. This went from one of the most legendary moments in baseball history to one of the most legendary mysteries. As history goes now, Jackie Robinson earned the respect of many of his teammates that year and helped lead his team, the Dodgers, to the World Series. But that on-field hug never happened. It was something that everyone believed happened, but didn't. Like a shared memory of an event that never took place. So what are your thoughts on all this? Had you ever heard of the hug before? Did you know that it didn't happen? Or is this all news to you as well? Let me hear it in the comments below.
Now, I know about Jackie Robertson and the history and all that stuff. I don't think I ever really heard about this hug, but it seems like something that probably would have happened. And if there's documentaries and movies and stories about
And they
it,
said there was even a statue, right?
there's that statue of him with his arm around him.
For a hug that wasn't even supposed to have happened.
Yeah, that to me does not make sense if that's wow. So I don't know. What does do we have any comments yet?
No comments.
No comments. All right, let's move on to the next one. Now, I've not seen this video. What I'm going to do is fast forward it to the next thing because I don't know what this is all about. And yeah, maybe people in our audience has seen it, but I'm really not going to get into a cat video where a red box might or might not have been at. Now, here's a Star Wars one. This is the one I wanted to get into. There we go.
Let's talk about a new Star Wars Mandela effect that has a lot of fans fighting amongst each other. This particular Mandela effect comes from Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. There is a very memorable scene in the movie where Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie are all trapped in a room filled with garbage and water. If you've seen Star Wars, you know the scene.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, the walls start to close in with the intent to compress all of the trash along with our heroes. Now, during this scene, Luke is constantly calling out for C-3PO to help rescue them.
Right.
Eventually, he gets through and yells at C-3PO, "Will you shut up and listen to me?" and blank. What is it that Luke says here?
We've had some problems. Will you shut up and listen to me? Shut down all
The shut down all the garbage impactors. Now I forget what sector he said. Shut down all the. I'm thinking garbage impactors, right?
Well, me
make sense?
personally, I haven't got the opportunity to watch these,
Well,
but not that I don't want to, but that's what I would have thought it would have been when I read it.
I know he says it, and then he says he gives a number, sector something, whatever, but I'm pretty sure he says the
I mean,
garbage.
because to me, it would have made sense.
Right. But let's see what the line is.
Well, let's see what the line is.
Is it shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level? Or is
That's
it shut
what it
down all
is.
the trash compactors?
Okay. So this is just a change of it's meaning the same. It's a word, two different words mean the same thing. So okay, so it was on detention levels. I knew it was some kind of level or something. I thought it was a sector, but okay.
Go Kart Bob says, I don't know.
I think it's trash compactors. I'm going to go with trash compactors. Because garbage smashers doesn't sound...
No, it didn't sound right. So I would think trash compactors.
Yeah. For me too. What does is there any comments? What is it? Let's see what the audience thinks.
Audience, what do you think?
Is it trash compactors or garbage smashers? And we'll give them a little bit of time because there is some lag.
Bone Breaking Action says, I'm not a Star Wars guy, but how in the hell have you never seen Star Wars? LOL. Well, BBA, I was busy raising behavioral and special needs children, so it was more or less watching a bunch of kids' educational TV and less of what I wanted to watch. So now I'm
Right.
starting to watch a lot of movies, and I got friends and people who love me who have been sitting down and watching stuff like that with me so I can catch up.
You probably
I'm
ended up
playing catch
watching
up.
you probably ended up watching a lot of Dora the Explorer and Barney.
Yep. Yep. I had to watch all that stuff
Uh-huh.
for decades.
Yeah.
I mostly went with, things like Sesame Street and VeggieTales and old things that we watched like Mr. Rogers
Mm-hmm.
and the Letter People.
See, I don't remember the Letter People.
Oh, it was neat. Taught them about their letters. I used to watch it in kindergarten.
Huh. But do we have any responses for...
No, we didn't have any.
All right, well, let's move on and see what it
Let's
is.
see what it is.
Detention level. Which do you remember? Usually lines from movies aren't the biggest or best examples of Mandela effects, but when it comes to a mega franchise like Star Wars, it absolutely matters. Fans have seen these movies over and over again. Memorizing lines verbatim comes with the fandom.
Right.
So what Luke actually yells is, shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level.
Shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level!
What?
You copy? Shut down all the garbage mashers on the detention level!
Is that what you
Garbage
remember?
mashers.
This may seem like a small thing, but apparently a lot of people online completely disagree with this quote. Now here's where things get weird. If you look up the scene on YouTube, most of the videos still have the incorrect title of Star Wars Trash Compactor Scene.
Yeah.
Now this could obviously be a human error, but it's strange that video after video makes the same mistake in the title. Luke never says trash compactors. He says garbage mashers.
Garbage
a very
mashers.
different and distinct thing. It's almost as if the line has somehow changed from what people remember. Let's get into the comments. Just as expected, it's filled with people confused as to why this line is now different. You know it's a good one when you see dozens of comments across multiple videos saying, is this a Mandela effect? That is my favorite thing to read in a comment section.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to the question, was it altered at some point? Was it changed on the DVD or the Blu-ray release? Or did George Lucas or Disney make this change? And if so, why? Remember that George Lucas changed his movies a lot after they were already released. It's this weird perfectionist streak that every artist suffers from. No piece of art is ever good enough. It can be better. Just a little tweak here, a couple of changes there.
Let's fast forward this just a little bit.
Yeah, Go-Kart Bob says that was 40 years ago. I can't remember words in a movie from that far back. I'm right there with you. Go-Kart Bob.
Here's a word Mandela effect, I believe.
Or hypnotic.
And let me rewind that just a tad.
Liqueurs. So here is where the Mandela effect comes in. If you have ever had this drink before, or purchased a bottle of it, or simply seen it on a store shelf, the sparkle, the design, the name, it's all very memorable. So here's the question. How is hypnotic spelled? Is it spelled hypnotic, hypnotic, or hypnotic? If you're like me, you remember it being hypnotic with a Y and a Q.
Yeah.
That's understandable. It's a slight spelling variation of the word hypnotic so that they could trademark the name. But you'd be wrong. It's actually hypnotic with that really strange spelling. That spelling is absurd. Not just in the sense that it's purposefully.
Yeah. I would have gone with.
I remember the first one that it showed at the top left. Honestly.
Here's what I remember. Hypnotic.
If you rewind it a little bit, I remember that for some reason with a Y and with a C at the end. But from the last one, Go-Kart Bob says, I think that is just a word association thing. And
Right.
Vorak says, no Y tended bar gore ears.
Or hypnotic. If you're like me, you remember it being hypnotic with a Y and a Q. And that's understandable. It's a slight spelling variation.
I remember a Y and a C.
Name. But you'd be wrong. It's actually hypnotic with that really strange spelling. That spelling is absurd. Not just in the sense that it's purposefully confusing, but it's a pain on the eyes. I've seen this drink hundreds of times. I've even held the bottle in my hands on multiple occasions. This is absolutely something I would have noticed. But here we are. Has hypnotic always been spelled like this, or is this another example of the Mandela effect? Let me know. Now that you're up to date with what I said then, this will more likely blow your mind. Hypnotic is no longer shiny. It doesn't sparkle. It doesn't have that beautiful glitter effect anymore. As of now, it is just solid blue. How is it that I made an entire video segment on this drink? And not only did I somehow not notice that the drink didn't sparkle, but not a single commenter noticed either. That video has 119,000 views as of right now. In all that time, with all of the people who commented that they were bartenders and they made hypnotic drinks all the time, or that they love drinking this, or that they used to party all the time, etc., how is it that no one noticed? In fact, the first comment to mention that it doesn't sparkle, or hasn't ever sparkled, was from 9 days ago. Here's that comment. Not a single comment before this one, in the 2 years since this video has been released, has said otherwise. And I know this because I checked. In fact, I looked up every term I could think of in the comments. Sparkle, shine, shimmer, glitter, shiny, nothing. Something very similar happened in my last video. I went back and looked at my favorite men.
Now, it's funny how the bottle, if we go back and look at the bottle has sparkles on it.
Yeah, it looks like little jewels.
Which would indicate to me that the drink itself would be sparkly. I mean, that's the first thing you think of. You pick up that bottle and look at it and go, oh, maybe the drink itself is sparkly. That'd be cool.
Well, unless I actually saw the sparkles inside, I don't think I'd be tempted to buy it.
But that would be the first thing that would come to my mind, would be it shows it on the label as kind of being sparkly, and maybe he talks about that. Let's see.
Glitter, shiny, nothing. Something very similar happened in my last video. I went back and looked at my favorite Mandela effect from a video I made 3 years before. The changes that had happened since I first talked about it were unbelievable. And here we are again, where I have a dedicated video segment on a topic that has now changed. This means that the research that I did, the script that I wrote, the audio recording of me reading that script, and the images I used are now retroactively wrong. I'm honestly not even mad.
It doesn't look like it sparkled.
When I made that original video, I obviously believed that hypnotic sparkled. I included not just my voice mentioning that point, but also what I thought were photos that showed that. I even added glittery blue backgrounds to further represent the shimmer. I also specifically remember going to my favorite liquor store downtown when I first heard this drink's name had changed and checking for myself. So, what is going on here? Let's get to the bottom of this. First up is the idea that maybe I was mistaking this for another sparkling drink. Upon doing some research, I found a French drink called Nuvo sparkling liqueur. Apparently this was the first drink to sparkle like I remember Hypnotic sparkling. This bottle was modeled to give off a perfume-like design and originally displayed the words "for her" on it. I have never heard of this drink before, and there's no way that I could have mistaken this drink for Hypnotic. Besides, look at the color. It's completely different. Next up is a drink from Hypnotic themselves called Hypnotic Sparkle, released in 2014. I can't make this stuff up. I'm looking for a sparkly bottle of Hypnotic that apparently doesn't exist, and now there's a specific sparkling variant of Hypnotic. At first, I thought, mystery solved. That is, until I saw the bottle. Not only does this bottle have a different branding and look to it compared to regular Hypnotic, it also isn't sparkly. There's no glittery shine to it. It's simply bubbly, like champagne. The sparkle of Hypnotic Sparkle is carbonation, not glitter or whatever it was that made it sparkly like a lot of us remember. We are 2 for 2 right now, so maybe this next and final answer is the one we're looking for.
So I remember what was that tequila brand that had the
Goldschlager?
Goldschlager. It had the sparkle, like the sparkly gold flakes.
Yeah, the gold pieces.
Yeah. Now that's what I remember. That's the only drink that I ever remember in my lifetime that actually had a sparkling look to it.
Vorak said another one that gets people is Myers rum.
Myers rum. The name Myers? Is that it?
Myers.
Mm-hmm.
Myers.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Is it the name Myers? Is that what gets people?
I guess so.
Because they do the same with Oscar Mayer.
When they see it, do they run?
Rum.
Vorak said, yep.
They run from the rum.
Yeah.
2015, a brand named Vinique was released. Now this stuff was sparkly from what I found online about it. Apparently it was discontinued for unknown or undisclosed reasons between 2019 and 2020. If I had to guess, you were straight up drinking glitter.
Yeah.
Was it possible that everyone that remembers Hypnotic being
that way,
myself included, was actually thinking of Vinique? I really don't know, and I can't answer for everyone. Personally, I had never heard of or seen this brand before today. And looking more into it,
Shimmery
the colors
liquid
available for Vinique were dark purple and later on red and orange. There wasn't even a blue shade, let alone a light blue shade. So I spent hours looking into this because I get super obsessive over things that really interest me. And I found this really neat. There is an article by MASH.com about the untold truth of Vinique Shimmery Liqueur. This article goes on to describe the history of this drink, as well as show off a ton of amazing photos of this beverage. I wonder if it was any good. Let me know if you had this before it was removed from the market. Anyway, the 2022 article goes on to, strangely enough, mention Hypnotic, of all things, a brand that was apparently never shiny.
Oh, wow.
So why was it brought up in an article about this shiny drink? Unless perhaps the author, for some reason, in their mind, associated Hypnotic as a shiny drink as well. In fact, it was totally unrelated to Vinique, as both targeted different demographics. Gen X for Hypnotic and Millennials for Vinique. Not to mention Hypnotic came out in 2001 and Vinique came out in 2015, a full 14 years later. I don't see how or why these two disparate bottles would be compared in an article, but they are. The article goes on to say, Vinique Shimmering Liqueur was the first shimmering liqueur specifically designed for the American market. Before Vinique, there were a few smaller and lesser-known drinks, like France's Nuvo, that had a much subtler effect. Although liqueurs like Hypnotic capitalized on bright and bold drink flavors, Vinique was the first brand to not only combine the two, but to really strive for a drink that looks like pure glitter. So already, I would pause. How did Vinique combine the two?
That's interesting right there. That they would go on mentioning it, even though it didn't have any sparkle to it whatsoever.
I mean, it looks like, a pretty drink, that would be tempting to drink, but I can't imagine just from the colors of it or the way that it shines and glistens that it could possibly be good for your system. I mean, let's face it, most alcohol isn't,
Well,
except for that red wine they talk about if you don't over excess,
right.
according to society. But I can't imagine glitter, such as that Vanique or the, Goldschlager. Oof, I imagine it tears your system up.
Vanique launched as a glittery dark purple drink. Hypnotic was a bright blue drink that was apparently never glittery. They are completely different. One is dark and shiny, and one is bright blue and apparently not shiny. Where is this association coming from anyway? If Hypnotic was never shiny, this is a random non sequitur. It's irrelevant to bring up, unless it's the exact same association that I and so many others now have for completely unknown reasons. Also, I'd like to point out that they spelled Hypnotic with the old spelling in that article. The spelling that is now.
Yeah, look at this. With the Y.
Yeah.
And the
I
Q.
see it. Go-Kart Bob says, advertisers use a play on words to get you to stare at the product. Michael Fontaine says, never heard of any of them. Neither have I.
No.
Vorax says, booze is yummy. And BBA got a kick out of it.
Now considered correct. This article is a great piece of residue for both hypnotic Mandela effects. So what do you think about this Mandela effect? Do you remember the glitter or the name being spelled differently, like so many others? Or is this how hypnotic always was? Perhaps I'm simply thinking of an...
So let me go ahead and see if he talks about any more, or if this is the end of it. It looks like it's almost
Let me hear it in
over.
the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the link.
Okay. So there you go. There's some Mandela effects. All of those to me were brand new ones I've never heard of.
No, I haven't either.
The hug.
I don't think not a single one of them. And, a lot of that stuff I wasn't aware, things like the products. Or, what would have been said in a movie.
Right. No, there is a link to that guy's channel. And so if anybody wants to check out his channel, he's obviously Mandela affected like the rest of us are. And some very interesting things were said there in that video. Hey, we got Bear Lamb just came in.
Hey, Bear Lamb.
And hope everyone is having a beautiful Sunday. Well,
Michael Fontaine says, what movie?
What movie are you talking about?
I don't know. I guess Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars, where it was wondering, was it what? Trash compactor?
Trash compactor or garbage smasher?
Yeah.
Go-Kart Bob, that's a good point. Yeah, no, it's not so yummy when it comes back up. I remember.
No.
Oh my
I can't
gosh.
imagine so.
One time I had this all-night binge where I went out, partied with some friends, and we went bar hopping, blah, blah, blah. And I think I drank Jägermeister. And if anyone knows about Jägermeister has got kind of a green coloring to it. And the next day, or that night actually, I think I threw up. And when I did, it was all this green coloring had come up, and it was not very appetizing. Well, I guess no throw up is appetizing, but I'm saying like, it was not very pleasant. Let me put it that way.
Vorax says you're drinking it wrong if it comes back up.
Well, the old saying, well, how's that go? Beer before liquor makes you sicker. Liquor before beer makes you... Oh, wait, no. Never mind. I'm not going to finish that.
It's either that or you drink... Well, maybe it is wrong, but maybe you drink it so right that, your guts can't handle it no more either.
But, it's a delicate...
You drink it anyway because it's yummy.
Right. There's some of those drinks where you can't even taste the alcohol, like
No, like the pineapple upside down cake drink.
oh man, yeah,
Oh man, that's got some flavor.
I remember I used to drink pineapple and rum, and I couldn't even taste the rum in it, but I would make the rum so strong, and it would just, you talk about a pineapple hangover. Oh my gosh. Whew, that was the craziest hangover you'd ever have.
Vorax said, "Dear blood."
Dear blood. I've had, some of the drinks that they have nowadays where they hide the liquor so well, you can't even tell you're drinking an alcoholic beverage. It's like the tea, the hard lemonade, and what's the twisted tea, and all this, like you mentioned, the upside down cake.
The Long Island iced teas. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, I was talking about twisted tea. That twisted tea.
Yeah.
There was even a video.
Bear Lamb likes Jägermeister.
There was even a video way back when some guy was mouthing off to some dude in the store, and he took a can of twisted tea and knocked his ass out with it, hit him upside the head. Did you ever see that?
No.
Well, it was hilarious. But you just, out of moderation, I do social drink, when you're out with family or you're out with friends or something like that. Like maybe you're sitting around the bonfire and you're having a few beers. There's nothing wrong with that. You just got to do it out of moderation and really.
I don't know. Apparently I like my wine Irish style.
Irish style. Irish style. Okay.
That's what I call it.
Yeah. And you do have Irish. You are
Yes.
Irish.
And I just go ahead and save the cup so I don't have to wash it later.
Oh, goodness. Oh, well. Well, hey, with that being said, you have a little thing here, a little game you want to play with the audience. I do.
Yeah.
We have enough. Game. We have enough audience members here that we could do this. A while ago, I thought everybody was leaving, that they had left us, and they weren't going to return. But we do have some people back here. Michael Fontaine seems like he popped back in, of course.
Yeah, and Vorax said, beer before liquor, never sicker. Liquor before beer, have no gear.
Well, there you go. That's a little nicer than what I was going to say.
Or have no fear. Yeah. Michael Fontaine says, soju. What is soju? Or sohu? What is that? Don't think I've ever heard of that. Bear Lamb says, I drink Jägermeister with Coca-Cola with a shot of lime juice.
Oof.
And Go-Kart Bob is wondering, what's the name of the store in Grand Theft Auto Liquor Box?
It's been a long time since I played any of those games. Yeah, I don't
I've watched people play it, but I've never played it myself.
I used to play the older versions that was on like PlayStation, like for the original PlayStation, the old ones, and then they had the one, then you get upgrades and stuff like that, different PlayStations.
Yeah, I never got the opportunity to play, just watch.
But what we got going on next is a little game for you guys. At the beginning of the show, as you see in the opening credits, it says trivia. So this isn't really trivia. This is like guess what this is kind of thing. And I'll let you take it away, Amazon Line, because you're the one that thought of the idea. So if you can go ahead, I'm sure you can explain it better than I can. Go ahead.
All right.
Explain to
Well, the name of the game is Guess the Object. I, every week, can take a close-up picture of an object, and the audience guesses what the picture is. What is the close-up? What is it a picture of? So, are we ready?
Oh, sorry, it's muted up. I think so.
All right. Show the first picture.
All right.
We'll give the audience a few minutes to try and guess what it is.
I gotta
And then we will reveal what the picture is a close-up of.
I'm going to do. Go ahead and keep the audience entertained for a second because I got to get back into Messenger.
All right.
You know, when I got shut down a while ago, it shut all my other programs down. So go ahead and keep
Vorax says ready. Vorax is ready to play. Oh, Vorax was wondering, asking another person if they caught the end of the Talladega race today. Now, what is Talladega? Is that cars?
Yes.
Ah, NASCAR. Okay, I see. Thank you, Vorax. I thought that's what that was. Now, I'm not too much into the NASCAR, but I do love monster truck shows, and the bigger, the better. I don't like the little stuff, that they do, but I do like car shows, especially those really old-fashioned cars. I like going around the little, town car shows, and then I do like car derbies. I like to watch them crash.
Hopefully my computer doesn't crash.
No. We don't want it to crash again.
Let's see here. I got a lot of windows open here. I don't know.
Bear Lamb says, we don't have cars in Canada. We just have dog sleds.
Oh, here it is. Well. Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. What happened?
I'm going to go ahead and close all these other windows.
Alrighty.
Oh, crap. Hope I didn't just shut down everything. Well, folks, this is taking me a minute. I'm getting the blue circle. You know how that goes. Shoot. We are still live. Okay, that's good. Okay. I don't want that one yet. Let's see. How do I shoot? Where is the other photo? Well, it's being
It's not letting you do it, huh?
It's being a pain in the butt.
I'll
tell you. I just downloaded those 2 photographs, and it's, oh boy. Well, I don't want to share everything.
Right.
Dang it. Where is... The one we just let me get out of here. Okay. Let's try to do it this way instead. Go to photographs, pictures.
Did you hear that?
Uh-huh.
I'm sending it to
Well,
you.
Did you send it to the Shifty Sunday Hangout?
I did.
Oh, okay. Well, I downloaded it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Well, that's okay. No, we'll do it that way then. Okay. We'll just do it that way. It's easier. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get this baby up there. Okay, here's the first photograph, and wow, it's big. Here we go. Let me go ahead and get my share screen up. Share screen.
Eddie Von Kuhn says, "Don't porn bomb yourself again."
No, I don't think there'll be any risk of doing that. There we go. There's
Dear
the
Lamb says I could do it from my computer. Just click on the bottom and share screen.
yeah, you can.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
Dear Lamb, she's new at this, so she doesn't really know how to.
All right, so here we have the close-up picture. Everyone take a few moments to try and guess what it is. Vorax says Magic Man porn.
Magic Man porn. Oh boy. Well, here we go. So yeah, there's the picture. This is like kind of like a magic eye type of thing too. Remember those magic eye pictures they had at the mall?
Yeah.
Now I don't know if I can pull this back. Let's see if it would make a difference. No. Okay. Now you guys, we'll give you a few minutes to guess. It's going to be interesting to see what guesses they come up with.
Yeah, the Bear Lamb has an interesting answer. Could be a fly's eye.
Could be a fly's eye. Could be. Can I say something? I think it kind of looks like that Aurora, or what do they call that? Aurora borealis.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those lights at the North Pole.
Yeah.
That's what I think it looks like. Of course, I know what it is. So
Go-Kart Bob says Lothar.
right, that's Bear
thumbs
Lamb's.
up.
Right, that's Bear Lamb's. His actual name, Lothar.
Ah.
So on his own account. So we got one guess so far. Does anyone else want to take a crack out of it?
Bear Lamb says they're called the Northern Lights. Up here in Canada, we see them every day. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, we don't get that opportunity very often at all.
Okay, bone breaking action says fish. So that's from Bone Breaking Action. Ricky Bobby's face shield says Go-Kart Bob. Of course, he would be thinking about racing. We'll give the audience a little bit more time because this is the only one we have for this week.
Right.
So we'll just let it marinate and
this is a test of a game that I've come up with. So, after we're finished, y'all can let us know what you think.
Airplane flying with lights. That's interesting guess. I told you we're going to get some good ones.
Oh, yeah.
close up microwave door. I could see how that's.
Yeah, I could see that. That's interesting. Flower on a TV screen.
Well, it looks like everyone's had a guess. Everyone in our audience
had some good guesses. So, are we ready for the reveal?
I would say so. All right, here we go. Let's show that beautiful eye footage.
Believe it or not. Oh, we got garden hose. Everybody would be wrong. I am sorry. Nobody wins that, free invisible bag of popcorn. But this is actually my daughter's homecoming dress in the back seat of the vehicle, and the sun is shining on it and glistening it all over the place.
Isn't that cool? That's like a disco ball effect.
So I took a close-up of the back seat and then a picture of what it actually is. So if you guys like that game, just let us know in the comments. And every week I can do my best to come up with some and see if anybody can guess them right.
And next week we'll have a lot more. If you guys like this, we'll have more than just the one. So, all right. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for participating in that game. Thanks, guys. You all had your answers and stuff, so that's pretty cool.
Eddie Von Kuhn said laptop screen.
No,
Vorhack said her dress is made of garden hose material.
It is very glistening, shiny, shimmering, just like those words that one guy was using. And by the way,
right.
By the way, I put a link in the chat there for his channel. If you guys want to check him out, he's a Mandela affected guy I've never really even heard of before. So with that being said, guess what time it is, Amazon Lion?
What time is it?
It's time for Amazon Lion's Creepy Critters.
Creepy Critters.
And I have a surprise for you, Amazon Lion. Are you ready?
Do?
I do.
Oh my goodness, surprises make me nervous.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, here is Amazon Lion's Creepy Critters intro. Here we go. All right. It's your show. Let it go. Also, if you could send the article and the thing and Hangouts.
Uh-oh. All right. Well, let me see what I can do. I'll have to get back onto my phone. So it may be just a few moments.
No problem. But what did you think about that intro?
I really did enjoy that intro. Thank you so much.
Hey, you know what? It took me a minute, but with you nagging me and then Saji nagging me and the audience, I finally got on it. See, that's another thing with people of ADHD, we procrastinate.
Right. Yeah, that darn procrastination will get you every time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm hoping I can find it. Because I don't think it's in my Gmail. Which
No,
makes me wonder if it's in my Facebook
it's in
somewhere.
Messenger. It's in Messenger.
Are you sure that I sent it to Messenger?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I didn't. The reason why I'm saying send it to Hangout so I don't have to go in the Messenger.
Oh, okay.
Because then that'll do something to my computer, and then next thing you know, we'll be shut down again, and you know the thing.
You know the thing.
Yep, that thing.
This segment kind of bugs me. That's funny. If you can't get into Messenger, I can.
Yeah, I got into Messenger.
Let me.
But I'm trying to figure out how to share it from there because I'm still not quite sure.
Let me see what I can. Well, you shared that one, those photos at the Hangouts. I figure it'd be the same process, but let me see what I can do. Here it is. Well, wait a minute. You know what?
What's that?
Okay, let's see.
Go-Kart Bob says, this segment kind of bugs me.
Yeah, I read that. I read that.
That's funny.
Okay, I got the link copied. And there we go. Okay, that's good enough.
Did you get it?
That'll work.
All right.
Okay, let's get it shared, but try not to share too much personal information because it is on your Facebook.
Right.
So let's see here. Get that shared. And
then I think if you scroll up.
Hold on 1 second. Let me make that large and then charge.
Large and in charge. You better ask Charles about that.
Let's see. Well, this is okay. Let's see here. Okay, here you go. I'm going to share it. There we go. And
Alrighty. Can you scroll up a little? Or
well,
is it?
I will, but you can read that, right?
Yeah. A woman in Australia found one of the biggest huntsman spiders.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's.
Now I can handle, I don't know about you, but I can handle small spiders. Probably the biggest spider I ever faced was when I was sitting in a recliner and I saw something huge crawling on the arm of the chair. And The next thing I know, I look over and it was a gigantic tree spider. The ones that make the really huge, thick webs in the very tall trees. And that was big enough for me. It was so big for me, in my mind, I ran out the front door. So I don't know what I would do if I saw a spider like this. I don't know if I would freeze or if I would run.
So I'm going to close these tabs. Let's see. Yeah. If you could, do you have the article there on your messenger that you could read it? Because we just showed the spiders. Yeah, if I saw a spider like that, I would shoot it. I'm sorry. But there is a whole article there, right?
Yes. I mean, I see an article here.
Okay.
But I just didn't know what to share it to, honestly.
Let's see. And of course, it's in Australia. Australia.
And I thought maybe if I wanted to share it to a group that it would do it, but for some reason it's not in groups either.
Huntsman spider. I'm trying to see if I could find the article someplace else. Okay. I think this is it here. Yeah, this is it. And there's actually a video on YouTube.
Okay.
So this will be easy for you. We'll just watch the video that's on YouTube.
All right. Sounds good.
All right, here we go. The biggest spider ever.
You guys let us know what you guys think of this spider and what you would do if faced with it.
Let me share my screen. And this comes from the people posting this on YouTube as World News and Everything About Life. So that comes from their channel. Am I sharing?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
Pictures were taken in October last year, but have recently been posted on social media, leaving people fearful of the mammoth creature. It was taken in the Brisbane
Look how
Valley in
big
Australia.
that sucker is. I mean, just look at that. Woo.
I don't like looking at it.
Huh. That thing, I tell you what, it's almost like something out of a science fiction movie.
I mean, it looks like half spider, half crab. The little things that are on the front. And those two little oval-shaped black things look like it's eyeballs.
Well, if this is in the creepy critter, I don't know what it is. I'll tell you that much right now.
Good news is that the bite of a huntsman is not dangerous to humans, but few will still want to get very close. There are some suggestions the spider, which has been named Charlotte, could be the biggest huntsman ever discovered. The huntsman spider can be found across Australia and are known for being extremely fast. It eats a variety of insects, small lizards.
I would say it eats a variety of dogs.
Yeah, I'd say it could eat much bigger than small lizards and frogs.
Oh my goodness, look at the size of this thing. How would you like to have that running at you and you're sitting out in the backyard smoking a cigarette?
I wouldn't even want to open my front door if we had spiders like that around here. I'd order delivery. Look out my window before I open the door.
Frogs. The huntsman does not capture its prey in a web but stalks and chases it with stealth and speed. It might be the biggest of its kind, but Charlotte will still have some way to go before reaching the size of the Goliath bird-eating tarantula. They can reach up to a foot and have 1-inch long fangs.
Well, there you go.
There you have it.
That's
the creepy critter of the week. Ooh, let's see. Michael Fontaine said camel spider. Go-Kart Bob said extremely fast. Ooh. Michael Fontaine says look up camel spider up to 6 feet. Oh no, absolutely not. Ooh.
Camel spider.
No.
Well, just out of curiosity. Camel spider. Images. These things really look creepy, let me tell you, but it doesn't really look as well. It looks terrifying, but maybe we'll save this one for your next creepy critter. Who knows?
Yeah, it looks like a huge tick.
Man.
It does not remind me of a camel.
Let me go ahead and bring this up on the screen here. It looks like a combination. To me, it kind of looks like a combination of ant and spider.
Yeah, ant. I can see that.
Look at that thing. Still, I mean, it doesn't really look as intimidating as that spider that we showed.
Right.
I mean, honestly, it's creepy, yes.
Michael Fontaine says you'd have to see it. I mean, he did say up to 6 feet. You know, that just looks small. That's just a picture. But
yeah,
I imagine if you've seen him in real life, it wouldn't look so small anymore if it's up to 6 feet. It'd eat your face. That's what he says. Good Lord. I like my face a lot. I think I'd stay inside. But if they're that big, wouldn't they be able to get in the front door even if you don't let them in?
They're so big.
They're so rude they don't even care to knock.
Right. I was going to say, well, they're so big that they would be able to knock. They'd be like,
yeah, maybe they at least have manners before they eat your face. Knock, knock. Can I come in and eat your face?
maybe no. Go to the neighbors. I don't like them so much. So
the neighbors' faces are better than mine.
Right. You wouldn't want my face.
More flavor.
Too greasy. Too fattening. You know. Just saying. So you know, that pretty much completes the show.
Yeah, that concludes tonight's show. Thank you everyone for joining us. Can you see the screen to do your shout out for tonight?
Yes, I can.
All righty. Well, let's give that shout out.
Let's give that beautiful shout out. We got Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
Michael Fontaine.
Go-Kart Bob screeching in, and I'm not even going to attempt to do his screech because I'm not as good as Saji. Or Voramax in the house. Connie Joe was here earlier. She stopped in to say hello. Bear Lamb. Eddie Von King with a wrench, the real one. I think we had, was Nicole Ackerman here?
I think I may have seen her earlier, maybe at the beginning.
Before things went all wacky.
Yeah.
We got bone breaking action where huntsman spiders are real. Whew. Let's see here. Who else?
Yeah, Nicole Ackerman. Sweet Connie Joe.
Because I am missing like half the chat that was on here
Okay.
because of what happened. There's Nicole Ackerman. Okay, I see her name. Sweet Connie Joe. And who else was on there? Because like I said, I'm missing half of my chat.
From Borax.
If you could scroll up, you could see like.
You want me to go all the way up and just go through?
Go all the way up as far as you can go.
Yeah, there's Sweet Connie Joe, Michael Fontaine, Go Kart Bob. We got Nicole Ackerman, Michael Fontaine, Orm Vorax, Bone Breaking Action.
I believe that's all the names. I think we've already covered all that. So
did I cover that?
Yes, we've already covered all them.
Go Kart Bob. Bear Lamb, yep, all that. Well, maybe I just wanted to give them an extra shout out. That's okay.
It's all right. If there's anybody we missed tonight,
Daddy
I am sorry.
Coon, did you get him?
Yes, I did.
All right.
If there's anyone I missed tonight, I'm sorry. My computer crashed earlier, which kind of crashed the show a little bit. We seemed like we lost a little bit of audience, but they came back, a lot of them, and thank you for that. Thanks, everyone, for stopping in.
Oh,
see you in another Shifty Sunday.
Look what Mr. Go-Kart Bob said. You can't forget that.
Oh, I got to do that at the end of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But no, seriously, I think we've had another awesome night of Shifty Sunday. And last week, we got 10 more thumbs up like we did the week before. And thanks all you guys for doing that.
Thank you so much.
I think we are on the right track here. I think that this duel that you and I have seems to be catching on. Everybody's starting to recognize you.
It seems that way.
And Saji, I think, is going to try to stop by and do more Shifty Sundays. He wanted
Sounds good.
All to know that. Now he's not going to be able to always do it, but
right.
You know, he was a part of that original team. So anytime the Sadster wants to come in and do a show with us, he's more than welcome.
Well, I did my shout out, and I want to say thank you for everybody coming in and listening to the show. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful week ahead.
You couldn't have said it any better. With that being said, this is for Shifty Sunday. This has been Hebrew77 along with Amazon Lion saying good night, everybody, and do. Now I got to play the thing.
You know the thing.
Do. We're gonna have more technical. Oh, here it is. Okay. See all you guys next week on another episode of Shifty Sunday. Good night, everybody. Do. However. Oh, I want to say it one more